Hello everybody, Scot-sword here and welcome back to another video. This is a recording from the Spring Regionals tournament that we have going on at the moment. This is from the American League. We've got a match between Strider656 playing as the Hunters and Fangs playing as Dracula. This is going to be done post game analysis style. Strider's already done the recording and is up online. You hear his thoughts and strategies throughout the game, and we'll be able to comment on certain things. I'll be able to try and give a little bit of commentary on what Fangs is doing as Dracula, but obviously I can't see his perspective. Just to make it clear before we go in, Strider asked me to do this just to sort of analyze his gameplay and to talk about sort of the decisions that he's making throughout the game. The whole point of doing any of these sort of live commentary and post-game analysis styles where I'm watching other matches, not the ones that I'm involved in, purely, to try and showcase as many of the players as possible, but also just to provide a little bit of, firstly, entertainment. Hopefully that's enjoyable for you to watch other players play, but also to provide a little bit of constructive, sort of feedback about what the other players are doing. And obviously, as all commentators are, we're going to be talking about what's happening. You're going to see my live reaction to things, but then also, hopefully, then we'll explain, certain mistakes are made and why certain things happened, and the sort of the snowball effect that can happen in the game where a couple of mistakes then cause the game to go out of control potentially, or maybe not. How one player can have a bad start, but then they can really recover the game later. It just depends on the situation. There's so many aspects of this game, and maybe there might be one part that maybe I might think that a particular player is not doing very well, but it doesn't matter. They might be excelling in all the other areas, and that might be enough to win. So it just depends. And obviously, I might be saying that certain things have been done correctly or incorrectly, but then the game might turn out differently how you wouldn't expect because of a special event being drawn or whatever. Okay, so the game's very unpredictable, and you just have to be adaptable to every situation, so it's going to be very interesting. Also, I'll just make it clear, obviously, I don't want to be overly critical in these videos. If it sounds like I'm being overly critical, that's not my intention. But anyone knows me personally, I'm very much more critical of myself than others, I think, especially when it comes down to my gameplay. You'll notice that when you've seen post-game analysis that I've done of my own games. And also, if I just think back personally to all of the games that I lost in the previous league, I can really pinpoint, key moments of the game where I made critical errors, which then caused my downfall. And of course, there's a degree of randomness involved because of how all the different, how the event cards come out, what sort of encounters Dracula gets at what time. The combat deck can be a bit mean to Dracula sometimes, and obviously, the skill of my opponent is also factored into that. If I'm making mistakes, my opponent has more often than not the sufficient skill to be able to take advantage of my mistakes. So obviously, it's not just me and my mistakes only, but obviously when I'm trying to reflect on my own gameplay, I can only improve myself. I can't improve my opponents necessarily, so I'm always having to think about what did I do wrong and how can I get those mistakes out of my game, basically. So anyway, so I've skipped the first week more or less, so I'll give you a quick rundown of what's been happening. Normal supply stuff more or less. There's been a few things. There's been one night supply, so that's why Dracula has a Dracula card. Seward drew Evil Presence, and Dracula was discovered in Spain. We don't know where yet. There's no newspaper reports, but Jonathan Harker is about to reveal the final space of the trail, and that's when the game I'm going to play the recording from. What else? Oh, okay, right. So a couple of really important things, again, if we're going to think really analytically about what's going on. You'll notice here that, if I zoom in a little bit, Mina and Godalming are not on their starting location. This is not where they started. They actually started in 58, which is Vienna. But then a couple of days ago, they started moving to do psychic scans. They did a psychic scan of Germany, which was negative, and then they moved to Italy, but for some reason they didn't move to the same location. I'm not quite sure why that is. But something that Strider made comment on in the first 25 minutes or so, especially a few minutes ago, was I've had no newspaper reports, but also, more importantly, I've got no fast horses. That's really unlucky. And yet, when you look at how much of the item deck has gone, yeah, that is pretty unlucky, to be honest, not to get fast horses out. But at the same time, we can think, well, is there a cause for this? And of course, sometimes, the item deck could be shuffled really, really, not, it could be to your advantage or to your disadvantage. I had the game against was it against Burke Marley, where I drew 3 fast horses on the first 2 supplies of the game. That's unprecedented, but then I've had it before, where I've had all the fast horses shoved at the bottom of the deck as well. You just have to be adaptable. But the point is here is all three fast horses are still in the deck. I think maybe Van Helsing might have gone one now, or or it might happen now soon. But all 3 white 1 tickets are in the hunter's hands, so he's been preparing for the horse economy. Now the problem is, if we think about this critically, that Godalming and Mina have moved twice to get from Vienna to where they are now. That's 4 supplies which have not been done. So the hunters are 4 supplies basically below where they should be at this point of the game. So that accounts for 4 events. So basically, any events that are now going to be drawn are essentially a day late. They should have been drawn a day earlier. And imagine now, suddenly, if the newspaper reports come out, that could have been a day before, potentially. The other thing is, because we're talking about Godalming, then in total, there are 6 more cards in the item deck than there should be. And then what we can do a little bit of maths to kind of work this out. So I've got this, hopefully this is going to show it properly. Let me just check my OBS. It does. Okay, so this is a little calculator, which I use to calculate probability of drawing certain cards. So basically, before they started moving, there were 17 cards left in the item deck. That's what this is. And obviously, the sample size here is basically how many item supplies we're missing. So that's 6 cards. The 3 successes, that's the 3 fast horses. And we're basically calculating the probability of drawing at least 1 fast horse. That's what this one is. And basically it says here that the chance to draw 1 of these fast horses or more is over 75%. So if the hunters had just stayed in place for 2 days, then there would have been a 75% chance of them drawing at least 1 fast horse. And it could even be more, because that's more. Right? So there's an almost 50% chance of drawing 1, and a 75% chance of drawing 1 or more. That's pretty good odds. Okay, so because of that, this situation of, oh, we don't have fast horses would have been completely I'm not going to say alleviated, because of course you could have gone really unlucky and the fast horses could be the very last 3 cards of the game. But if we do it based upon purely probability, staying and supplying was the much better move. Even if you've got other good items, if you're prioritizing fast horse economy, you need to try and get those horses out of the deck. If you've got 2 hunters, with horses and 1 not, and it's stuck at the bottom of the deck, okay, fine. Then you can move around. I totally get it. And try and get it out later. But at the moment, especially when Jonathan Harker is in play. So, and unless we magically get newspaper reports, we're going to have to wait until, the day coming up. So that's going to be Sunday. To know where Dracula is. So just do everything you can to be as equipped as possible for that moment. Maximize the chance of getting fast horses out. Or if you end up with an awkward situation where Godalming draws 2 and Mina's already got 1, then think, okay, I have to throw 1 away, but then you can plan around it. Right, okay, then Seward and Van Helsing have to move about. You can start being adaptable and you can start planning around it. But at the moment, we've got no fast horses, and if I remember correctly, between Godalming and Mina, they have all 3 of the white 1 tickets. So one of them is going to have to be moving around with no fast ticket. That is going to be really debilitating for the rest of the game unless they can fix it. The other problem with moving is because, okay, we know that Dracula started in this region because of the evil presence and because the things will be flipped. But imagine if Dracula hadn't started here and if Dracula started in the east. The hunters have now spent 2 turns moving away from him instead of supplying, so they're weaker in terms of items and events. And also the fact that they're moving and they don't have fast horses. So then if you discover Dracula in the east, they are not going to be able to react to it because they don't have the movement to get over here quickly. Now I know, of course, I fully appreciate that Jonathan Harker is a very slow ally and it only reveals it on day 6. So unless you're really lucky and you are within sense of emergency or charted carriage range, or Dracula has started within 2 spaces of hunters, this first thing is going to mature. But as hunters, sometimes you're just going to have to admit and go, all right, it's going to mature. Let's try and do everything we can. So then once we do find the trail, even if the first thing or even the second thing after that matures, that we're in the best possible position. I think that's a really important thing to point out. But anyway, let's get into the recording. I'll try and endeavour not to talk too much, but you know me. I love the sound of my own voice. So let's get going and let's see what happens. I wonder where Dracula could be. Dracula is in Toulouse. So, you know, it looks like they're in a good position, but they've got no fast horses, so they're not going to be able to get there. Right, okay, so then immediately then I'm going to... Well, let's just show this. So, Dracula got summoned storms, and is instantly now...
Van Helsing there, which is fine.
Yeah, Strider is absolutely right here. He said that keeping Van Helsing there is fine. Why is that fine? Because, you know, we're talking about Toulouse. Van Helsing is not going to be able to come over for at least 2 days unless you have excellent weather, and even then he's then in Le Havre and it's a bit awkward to try and get him moving around. The fact that Van Helsing can just sit there and do nothing but supply, that benefits the hunters. You've got 3 hunters nearby who can deal with all of this stuff, and we know that Dracula is in Spain because he got the evil presence to trigger. Maybe, yeah, he might be walking back up into France now, but, you know, he looks like he's spent quite a lot of time in this sort of area, okay? So is Van Helsing in a rush to come over? Perhaps not. Especially not now, because he's got the Summon Storms up. If hunters have to choose between moving a hunter or some data supplying, that's a bit awkward, because sometimes as hunters you want to do both. But what Dracula has basically done here, and this way it's going to be really good, because Dracula's going to get this Toulouse thing to mature, unless they have a sense of emergency to get to this. He's basically said to Van Helsing, he's basically eliminated the choice. If hunters have to choose between doing 2 different actions, that's where mistakes come in, because they might make the wrong one. But if the hunter only has 1 action to do, they can't make the mistake. They just do the safe action every time, which is just supply, supply, supply. So if Van Helsing's stuck here for 3 more days because of the storm, he can just supply. And then, you know, that's 3 more events that the hunters have got, where really they shouldn't have got it. That's just something to be worked out. If you get something really powerful like Summon Storms, Dracula events like that should be held for either a position where Dracula needs to defend himself, or if you put something like, I don't know, in Cagliari or whatever, and the hunters are going to try and stop it, but then you can put Summon Storms up to block them for a long time, and then it might be able to force a mature. But in this situation, I don't really see how putting Summon Storms up is actually benefiting Dracula. It'd be better to hold that card for later, but that's just me. Anyway, let's see how the hunters deal with all this.
Which one is Toulouse? Okay.
He doesn't want to move Seward too far because of, you know, evil presence got triggered. We didn't see that, but that's what happened. Oh yeah, so at this point Van Helsing doesn't have fast horses. And then he gets one. But then he gets one. And really it's the one that you don't want fast horses on because he's stuck in the UK. You'd much prefer that. If only Godalming had supplied for that. Godalming would have now had fast horses. And that alleviates the whole problem with the white one. I understand why that he's moved Godalming there, because he wants to get, he can then rail into Spain the next day. But still, you just see my point, right? How those delayed supplies earlier is actually really now costing the hunters. If you've already got fast horses and all that stuff set up, and you discover Dracula early, or maybe not, you know, then you can start moving. I get it. There'll be times where you have to move. But in a case like this, we got Jonathan Harker in play. Just keep supplying. Like, it surely, in my opinion, it's more productive than moving around trying to scan. If anyone disagrees with me, then feel free to put in the comments why. I'm really happy to, you know, I'll be really keen to hear if there's a differing opinion on it. But for me, you know, if we start now supplying and those fast horses are really close to the top, then, you know, all of these problems with not having fast horses could have been alleviated.
Let's see. I am not on a line. I gotta get to a train line. Alright. Is anything I want to trade? No. I'm I'm just gonna stop. Pass. Actually, yeah, pass.
Yeah, passing at night's absolutely fine.
Reserve a ticket. Get rid of a 1/1. One better card. 2/1. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, the horse economy wasn't affected by that, so that's absolutely fine.
Let's see. I have chartered carriage and planned ambush. What do you guys have?
Nothing. No events. Stake, Heavenly Host,
Planned ambush.
knife.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
trade with.
Yeah, I mean, Van Helsing's not going to need the chartered carriage or planned ambush right now, so you know that's probably a decent thing to trade.
Godalming. Trade with him.
I think psychic scanning France would have been better there, because then you could have done this trade on Godalming's turn, and then psychic scan to see if Jack is going back into France or is stuck in Spain still. Okay, so I'm gonna. Again, sorry, I hate to pause, but there's something really critical to realize here. It all depends on what Mina does next on her next turn, but what you've done here is given 2 white ones onto a hunter that has no weapon. If she walks onto a spy, and I realize because she's not going to be moving much with these cards, but if she ended up walking onto a spy, both of those white ones are gone because you got no weapon to discard. Okay, now the funny thing is she's actually got dogs, so actually the dogs would counteract the spies. It's kind of working out okay, but it's just got to be careful. Like when you think about how white ones are distributed, trying to give them onto a hunter who is guaranteed weapons, so they can discard them if they walk onto a spy, then that's really important. But yeah, this is a really awkward situation to have no fast horses. If she has fast horses, then at least she can move around. But right now, her movement, whoever has the 2 white ones, their movement is so restricted. So yeah, it's a bit of an awkward situation all around. But they've got lots of stakes. They've got Heavenly Host. They've got the knives. So there's some good stuff going on here. Items have been more or less done pretty well. If they get Consecrated Ground, they've got all 3 Heavenly Hosts ready to go, which is very cool.
I'm gonna see where he's going next.
Okay, so at least a Harker's already in play, so that's always going to be doing. Hyder Barcelona, good Bodyguards mature. I do like a Bodyguards mature first. That's a really nice mature. That'll come in handy later, no doubt.
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona with a hide. That's a bit awkward. Which means you're going to have to commit if it's a Saboteur or Bat, you're going to have to commit 2 Hunters to it. Which is gnarly, because they haven't got horses, they can't get there easily. I mean, the funny thing is, he actually got Chartered Carriage to it, which means he can actually Chartered Carriage Godalming in to Barcelona, and then if he gets pushed away by Bats or a Saboteur or something. From a Saboteur wouldn't work because he hasn't got a rifle or pistol. And Bats would work because then Sud could go in to deal with it. I mean, it's worth a try. You don't want to have another thing mature. It all depends on what the hide card is. No forewarned. So you just have to hope it's Bats, basically.
Oh shit.
Yeah, correct reaction. Absolutely. So really good to trigger the hide there, because in a case like this, Fog will actually mean that this will mature because you can't search in Fog. I've noticed this with Fangs of Fire. It does like to use Fog in ways different to us. Normally we use Fog to defend Dracula from hunters ganging up. But in a situation like this, because especially the fact the trail was discovered so late, using hide to protect is really good, because it's almost better than Bats in this situation, because yeah, Godalming's delayed and he's stuck, but Seward can't walk in to deal with it. So this thing in Barcelona is definitely going to mature. So that's,
awful.
yeah, so it's actually
Terrible.
really good use of fog, the way everything panned out.
All my stuff.
Yep. I'm not a huge fan of Seward having double holy bullets but only one gun.
Right.
It's normally the other way round. Because if that rifle gets broken, then the holy bullets are useless. So it's better to have 2 guns, 1 holy bullet.
Probably went to 31.
Yeah, there's a rumour token that's got to be dealt with as well. There's quite a lot of stakes though, but it all depends. I mean, Mina has no movement, so trying to get her into Spain is going to be really hard. So Seward's one who's going to be able to dealing with this. At least with Hyde, you've got an extra day or so to deal with it. Yeah, I get it. You want to use the 3-2 later, I suppose. Could have used the 3-2. Doesn't really matter. Okay, Lisbon. So it looks like Santander. Is it Santander? Wolf form from Barcelona. Yeah, it's either Madrid. No, it can't be Madrid. Because I think Seward was sitting there. So it's Santander then. No, don't move Van Helsing. Just supply.
I'll supply.
Yeah, right decision. Just wait until the English channel's freed up.
Sucks.
Yep, it sucks, but it's fine because you've got 3 good items anyway, so you want to get rid of these dud. And then there's newspaper, right? So that's what I was talking about earlier, that everything's a day behind schedule. So you would have discovered this on potentially, you know, or even more so because there's been more movement since then. So it could have been on Saturday. So you would have discovered the first location with Harker, and then you would have maybe discovered... I think you would have discovered the wolf form location, I think. I'm not quite sure on the timing. It's a bit awkward now to work it out. Nah, don't move here. Supply. You're in a big city. Get an event. And an item. Ah! Nope. Nah. That's the wrong choice. I think you just stay in supply. Because you might be able to get that horse. And then Mina's then mobile. I don't think Mina's going to get to Santander in time. Or will she? 1. Actually, she might actually get to Santander in time. Yep. All depends on what Lisbon. Does Lisbon delay Seward or not? Nope. Just some walls. That's right, Seward can deal with that. That's fine. Can Mina get to Santander in time? Moves to 8. Yeah, actually, yeah, she can actually get... Yeah, well, I don't know. You got Seward there. I mean, I guess there's the risk then if it's like bats or something, then he might not be able to deal with it. Oh, your knight's flying. Oops. Oh, brutal. 2 night supplies, 2 Dracula events. Yikes. Oops. Yeah. The danger of night supplying. Yeah. Yeah, unless you want a night supply again, you just have to pass, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Well, I do have good luck, just in case. That was a mistake. I did not mean to draw that.
Yeah, to be fair, good luck could be decent. Could be decent against quite. It's good against false tip. But obviously, good luck is not as strong as I've heard in other editions of Dracula. All hoax mature. Oh, this is a very good start for Dracula. Bodyguards mature and a hoax mature. It all depends on what he gets. There's quite a lot of Dracula events.
This is not going well for me, but it is what it is. Like, I'm learning.
Yeah, and like, you know, things are going to go against you as hunters. So, you know, it's about being adaptable. And yeah, it's not great that Dracula's... I mean, Summon Storms didn't get used efficiently, so that's fine. We've got something else now, and then Dragon's going to get something now. So if you just limit the damage, if you deal with this Rumour token, then that's, you know, Dracula's not going to get 7 points, and then we start thinking about, right, building from there. Yeah, Fangs didn't have to tell him that. No, come on. If you wanted to, that's okay. Right. What did he get? A manual heal machine. Holy shit. Okay, this could be pretty bad. So that's 2. Right, okay, so immediately 2 events for Dracula. That's not great, but then you're kind of at mercy of what they are. Look at what has been discarded. Double renewed vigor. That's brutal. That, as a Dracula player, I think they're discarded face up. As, yeah. That is, if you are Dracula in this situation, you'll be jumping for joy. Both renewed vigors out the game. So it means then, yes, sure, even if you have fast walls and things, the ability for the hunters to move huge distances is now being really reduced. And there's not the big sort of like combo that you can do with like fast horses and chartered carriage or sense of emergency in a normal move, right? That's a huge win for Dracula. Huge win. And again, I'm not, I'm kind of going to over the point again, but if the hunters had spent a couple more turns supplying, one of those renewed vigors could have been at the top. So they could have obtained one of these renewed vigors. Maybe. It all depends on the timing. But yeah, okay. I mean, this is recoverable. I've won games without renewed vigor before, but the fact that Dracula knows that renewed vigor is gone is a huge win, and they can we'll see if Dracula's able to capitalize on it, and we'll see how the hunters respond. That's a rough one. It also depends on what Dracula's now obtained. Could be 2 roadblocks, or it could be 2 really good things. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know what just happened. I should be going slower.
At this stage, you're having to think about priorities. Yeah, Dracula's got now 3 Dracula cards, which is bad. Body cards mature, bad. But priorities. Don't sink the game at this point. There's a rumor token that has to be dealt with. That is the #1 priority. And I think now, if I got my timing right, has Dracula moved? Yeah. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that being used, but okay. Oh, to remove the ally? Ooh. Why? Yeah, maybe. Harker's not normally considered to be the strongest ally. You'd rather use that to get rid of Consecrated Ground or something like an Aggie or Rufus Smith. But if right now the Hunters... the Hunters don't have a lot of movement. So if Dracula's able to escape from the situation and break into the rest of the map, the Hunter's actually going to really struggle to find him. So potentially a good move. I would have probably waited a couple of turns. I understand that he wanted to, so they don't know this this wolf form location, but I don't know if that's a problem. Yeah, you don't need double stake. The deck's about to reset, so you'll get it back. So it has to go to Zero Santander. Wow, he doesn't have to, but I'd either supply or move to Santander. He can rest at night. No, okay, you could have moved there. You just walked there, but that's okay. That's alright. The problem is now that your ticket's been used up, so if you want to move by rail again, you're going to have to get tickets another time, but that's okay. It's fine. The important thing is that Santander can stake this vampire, assuming it's a vampire, and then we go from there. We know Dracula has to be in southern Spain because of...
Clear this because there's a rumor on it.
Yep, agreed. Got a couple of options here. Do you use the stake or do you use planned ambush? And you can try and kill it with the holy bullets. I'd probably try to use the holy bullets and keep the stake, actually. So yeah, now question, do you use planned ambush for it? Or do you try and save planned ambush for later if you jump onto Drac? Ah, that's a tricky one. Or you just go for the normal fight. I see arguments for everything. It's just trying to go for the rifle straight up. That I can totally respect.
Paper, by the way. I totally screwed route up.
Oh, he wants to use escape route. Ah, okay, yeah, you need to click it. Well, this might still work anyway, because like the way you can do this is try to kill it with holy bullets. Well, he's going to be able to kill it with holy bullets. Nice, okay, so it's all academic. If that failed, then you can just try to escape, and then you just use the stake at night. But now he's kept the stake, which is actually really good, because he's had to throw one of the stakes away, and he can use up one of the holy bullets.
What if I
Nice.
use holy bullets twice on him?
You can't use them twice, you can use it once. Because it does 3 damage, so it's just instantly dead. That works, and now you can then resupply in Madrid and get something else. But he's kept the stake, which is actually really nice. That went well.
Going for that holy bullets achievement.
So that's dealt with. No wolf form. Wolf form is going to take a little while to come back up. We know Dracula has to be in southern Italy.
I think he's going up.
No, can't have, because he's going from Santander to Lisbon, which is somewhere around here. But Van Helsing has to supply, because he's stuck there. I mean, there's a risk you could have double supplied horses, but I guess you keep it and then you take it onto the mainland and try and trade it.
Yep.
A good thing is Mina now doesn't have to deal with Santander, so she can go to Bordeaux and she can supply. Yep. Huh?
Yeah, I know where he's going.
Oh,
Trail.
he's got wild horses. That's what Dracula's got. Yep. Now Dracula's in southern Spain.
Lisbon.
I think I said southern Italy right now. I think a few minutes ago I said southern Italy. I meant southern Spain.
Santander. Where's Santander? There. He went to Lisbon. Definitely going the wrong way.
Oh, I wouldn't move at night if I were you. So remember, if you move at night, you're potentially giving Dracula another card. I know Long Night's in play, but I just...
Long night.
Long Night is considered one of the worst cards in the game for this reason. You're either having to give up a really good Hunter event, or you're having to give Dracula events.
Yes. I'm gonna reserve a ticket.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, that looks good. Hope you get a 3-2. Ah, 2-2. That's alright. You can get to Madrid for that, and that's a good place to go. Or you can even go to Alicante just to block it off in case Dracula is going to Alicante. Ooh, okay. Well, you can walk to Madrid, and then you can heal. Hopefully it doesn't need to heal. Oh!
I'm not supplying. I gotta get tickets.
Yep, that's the one. You want to try and get improved horse economy? You don't need... Oh, yeah, I would have got rid of the other one. Oh, it's work out the same.
I went the wrong way. That's not worth it.
No, stay put and supply next turn.
I'm going to pass. Yeah,
Me.
play Long Night.
That's okay. Long Night. If you end up losing Long Night incorrectly, it doesn't really matter. It's not really game changing. The only time where...
No points. And I'm pretty well stocked.
Yep, just need to get horses.
Spain.
Yep.
Let's see, because Lisbon... He's not hiding, so probably went Lisbon, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably either going to 48 or he's going to C.
Yep.
Now.
Yep. Or could have gone via Madrid, is now going to go to Alicante or something. We shall see. Oh, that's a C move. That's okay. That's fine. Yep.
Who has some good stuff?
They're both pretty well equipped, actually. Both pretty well equipped. Mina can stock up and supply in Bordeaux, and then you can send Godalming and Sewer to deal with this pretty quickly, and then you can all backtrack and resupply. Is that a false tip? Ooh. Yikes. Yeah, play good luck. Very good. Yep. So that's actually really good because now you know he's in the Mediterranean, so that gives you lots of information. That's fine because you got a stake. You got double planned ambush. Actually, that's pretty cool. No, just you don't need it. I think you just. Wow, I don't know. All depends. Okay. You can try and kill it with a heavenly host then, or you can just escape and then stake it. I would probably, because if Godalming can tank all of this health, I would probably have just escaped. Just try to play the normal fight without planned ambush and keep planned ambush for later when you jump onto Drac. Yeah. Yeah, when you play planned ambush, just play a normal standard, you know, dodge, escape, or punch. And then once you see what the vampire does, you can then change your mind. Nope. So you can choose. You can either escape or you can play Heavenly Host now. I wouldn't dodge here. Because you're just stuck in a combat for longer. Yep, that's the right choice. Yep. Yep, that's good. Shame you had to use a planned ambush to do it, but it's okay. It's fine, it just gave you a little bit of security net. You didn't give away a point either.
Alright, that wasn't bad. I'm going to stake him.
Yep, good.
Just make sure I have it.
Yep, you do. You do.
Yeah, the stake. Alright, let's see.
So you should definitely go to Madrid, because then you can either you're closer to the other locations and you can also resupply before you go there. You might have also gone to Madrid. Yeah, that works too, because you can then go to Cadiz from there. Well, I'll wait and see what he does first.
I gotta think what I want to do.
I mean, that is another option. You can send her with Mina, and they can then supply up together. That works as well. There's quite a few different things you can do here. Oh, that's wild horses. He's.
Fire. What does that mean?
Wild horses. Now you gotta be careful with Van Helsing, because if you supply, you might end up with double horse. But at the same time, do you want to take him off Britain? Probably not, because Drac is going to sea. But, you know, I also get it, because like Drac is going to have to move 3 times to land in mainland UK. So I think you're pretty safe to take Van Helsing off. Supply. No. Supply. You need horses. You need horses.
Supply. See if I get a nice event.
Ooh. Yeah, rifle is good. Reveal the stake because it's not a combat item. Perfect timing, money trail, very good. That's an excellent card to get. You can trade it to Godalming too. Or maybe not.
Even better. Okay. There we go. I'm not talking a lot. I'm just thinking. What if I turn the volume up here? I'm gonna blast it. Pass. You can't do anything.
Yeah, that's fine. So, okay, you didn't get half horses, but you've got a really powerful event, and you got a weapon on her. So that was a worthwhile turn. Obviously now because of the hoax, everything's been reshuffled. So obviously now everything I said before about, oh yeah, you know, everything that's 1 day delayed, that's not relevant anymore. That's not relevant anymore.
And I'm gonna have him clear the trail. How does money trail work?
You just play it, and it reveals a sea space, any sea space you want. So the key thing with money trails, do not play it too early. It's very, very easy to get into, is to play it too early. Don't panic with money trail, just wait. So basically, right now, we know that Dracula is in Tyrrhenian or is in South Atlantic.
There sucks.
Right, so in a situation like this, you do not want to play Money Trail now. The reason why is because, okay, if it reveals it's Tyrrhenian, great, because you kind of know more or less where he's going. But once if it reveals South Atlantic, Dracula can then move another sea space, and then another sea space, and you have no idea where he is. Maybe I maybe see an argument. Maybe do you want to know if he's going west or east? But like honestly, right now you're just having to deal with the trail and supplying up, right? Wait for Dracula to land, and then play Money Trail, because then you know exactly where Dracula is, more or less. You know, obviously he goes to the North Sea. You're not quite sure is he in the UK or in Germany, but you can start ruling out stuff really easily. Okay, don't panic with these big cards. Just hold off. Sometimes you have to pay them immediately. Other times you have to hold off a bit. For something like Money Trail, just wait. Wait for Dracula to make his move, and then play Hypnosis. Sorry, play Money Trail. Same thing with Hypnosis, right? You can't play Hypnosis until Dracula lands. So you have to wait with it until he lands. Same thing with Money Trail. The only time would be if Dracula moves 3 sea spaces, then maybe you might want to play it. Like, you want to know then if it's North Atlantic or Ionian. In that situation, you probably would want to play it. It just depends. It depends on how you feel. But right now, I wouldn't play Money Trail at this point. I would wait.
Alright. So I'm not going there.
Knowing if he's gone to Tyrrhenian or South Atlantic isn't really beneficial to you. You want to know if he's in Ionian or North Atlantic. That's a little bit more vital. Or then if he's in North Atlantic, if it's one space further. I just wait until he lands. I just keep supplying with Mina. Try and get these horses out. That's more critical at this stage of the game.
Gotta clear the trail.
Yep. Alright, None's going to enter Kadif. That's cool. That's fine. Wait, why has Alicante got... the vampire in Alicante got killed. That shouldn't be there. You can get to Bordeaux in one turn.
Is that the lair? Am I an idiot?
No.
I think it's...
He's got wild horses. There's a lair there, though. But you've got a rail ticket. You could have got to Bordeaux in one day. Well, that's all Dracula's events gone, though, so that's fine.
Let's see.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Or if you do, at least wait for night. You can day supply. Okay, well, in this instance, because Dracula's going east, then, you know, it is beneficial. If Dracula had been in South Atlantic, then that would have been a really awkward money trail.
Okay. I'm way out of position.
You just need to get horses. You need to try and get movement. Mina's like really restricted on movement. She has to get horses ASAP. You've done all the hard work to get the ticket economy up, so you have to get horses. Okay, that's fine. Those rats will remain, but that's okay. Yeah, that Alicante thing's bugged. There's definitely no vampire there. That's just...
Rats in Granada.
Yep.
In Granada. Let's see. He needs the rest.
That's fine. Yeah, you need to. I mean, Van Helsing can move around a bit more, which is nice. He's got the movement. He's got a 3-2 ticket as well, so he can get to Marseille. Yeah. Yeah, pretty well equipped actually. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I'm gonna trade with him.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Trade.
What are you gonna trade?
With Seward. I'll take and ambush.
Yeah, the fact that, you know, Well, I don't know. I see arguments for both. But yeah, I mean, you can trade Plant Ambush back if you need to later. Also, since Van Helsing's the weakest fighter in terms of health, and the fact he's also got a fast horse, you know, him having Plant Ambush is not a bad idea, or Escape Route's not having a bad idea either. Seward needs to get another weapon.
These rats. Oh,
Nah, you killed that. That's not alive. You killed it. Nah, you killed that. Oh. Oh, Wolfram from Tyrrhenian. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reckless there. That's bollocks.
Right. Well, I forgot about the reckless like a jackass. So that's a mistake.
Yeah, you killed it. That's a bug. That's not helping. It doesn't help when there's a bug. That's a little bit abnormal. But normally it goes away. And normally when you click on the location, it doesn't appear then. That's very weird. No, you have to go. You have to go and do a Kadif. Priorities. Priorities. You have to get a Kadif first. Ah, you're going back. That's a shame. What?
Yeah. Totally forgot about this guy.
Oh no, you didn't kill it. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot. Of course you didn't kill it. Of course you didn't kill it. I was thinking of the one in Santander with the holy bullets. Of course not. You escaped from the combat. That's right. You escaped from the combat.
Try escaping.
That's right. You used planned damage to escape. No, it's not a bug. That's not a glitch. Of course the reckless vampire's there. What a muppet. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. So the problem is with that is because you moved that way. That's a point for Dracula, but you know. That's right, you're out of the fight, you can stake it easily.
Give him a point.
But that means Kadif is going to mature. If that's a desecrated soil, that's actually really good for Dracula. Fight just taking 3C damage.
Alright.
So yeah, priorities. Alicante was further back on the trail, so you could have dealt with it later. Good. Yep. Right, you can move. Van Helsing can move. He can rail to like Marseille, or he can fast horse to 24.
I'll use fast horses.
Yep, that's alright. That's good. Dracula might be in 57. So it's pretty important to check that. You might also want to go to 51 to try and get ahead of him, but at this stage we don't know where he is, so we've got time. So trying to find out where he will form to is pretty important. That's a question. Is he in southern Italy, or is he gone into centre? Like, he's gone to Milan or Venice, he's going to walk up into Germany.
I think I'm going to do this.
Supply. No, but he can't be there. Well, actually, no. He could have been. He could have been in Marseille. He could have been in Marseille. But the thing is, like, Van Helsing could have checked that. And also, if you're going to psychic scan, better psychic scan at night. If Mina discovers right now that Dracula's in Marseille, it makes no difference to your night turn. So she should have supplied to hopefully get fast horses and then psychic scan at night. Sorry, I take it back. He could have been in Marseille. So that was, you were kind of right to check it. At the same time, you know, Marseille is quite an easy place to check. We'll see what was in Kadif. Is it going to be another good thing for Dracula or not? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, that's okay. You need to supply because like Seward's down an item, and Mina needs horses.
He's gonna pass. Actually, I'm gonna reserve a ticket.
Yeah, get rid of
Get rid of the this one.
That's the one. Yep, because you make horse economy better. Yep, you just improved horse economy. That's the way to go. So Van Helsing's guaranteed to be moving 2 now for the rest of the time.
I'm gonna get this white one out of here.
Good. Now
3-2.
that's good because now they've both got decent. Yeah, they've at least got one movement.
And that's how we're doing.
And do you have them a rifle? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could have given the gun to Seward perhaps, and then
Okay. Training and see. He wolf form. He could be in anywhere in Italy. Not
yep.
Cagliari.
Could it be Cagliari? Yes, it could be Cagliari because if he hides now in Cagliari and this is a vampire in Cadiz, Mediterranean would actually fall off the trail. But the chances of that are very unlikely. But I've seen it been done. I've seen it been done once. Okay, so you've got some movement on Mina. So maybe Mina can move by rail and Seward supplies until he gets a horse. That's a way to do it.
I'm out of here. How many? Oh, he's out of his event cards. That's good, at least.
Yeah, but this could be a hoax. It could be discarded soil. It could be a vampire.
I wonder if he's gonna feed.
Depends where he is. If he's in Bari, then maybe.
His vampires from maturing.
That's true.
What's going on?
Yeah, it did have a surprising end. If you haven't seen the Mr. Green Burke Marley game, it's on my channel. It's definitely worth a watch.
I'm just mad at my wasted action.
All depends on what this mature is. So you know, could be moving now to Munich. Right. Ooh. Okay. Well, in Cadiz. The one that wasn't checked, but that's okay. I mean, it's not the end of it. There's only 3 points. No rumor token, so it can be way worse.
3 points, but still. Get out of here now.
Yeah, you need to get to a big city.
By training.
Yep, 1, 2. Oh, you get to Bordeaux. Get to Bordeaux and supply from there. You can supply there with Seward, and the chance of you both getting horses is really likely. Yep. And you can also double heal as well. So Seward should stay put in supply, and Mina can then move. I wouldn't go with a sense of emergency. Just stay put for 1 turn. I shouldn't react until I actually see what he's doing. I would. Okay, I get it. You know, there is a sense of emergency. There's a sense of urgency, but that's a really powerful movement card, and you want it for later, for when you jump onto Dracula's space, especially if you don't have horses. So yeah, I would have supplied. Just supply. You could have double healed at night. You know, Gadami would have got 2 health back. Sud would have got 2 health back. There's a very good chance you would have got a horse. Because there's 2 horses left in the deck, by the way.
Okay, I know where. At least I got that one.
So you know, between Gadami and Seward, you could have got fast horses on both of them.
I have escape route and.
I mean, it's fine because Seward can supply from Genoa, but it means then. Oh, that's right. I jumped into this, yeah, for like 2 minutes. I forgot he'd been discovered in Milan when I jumped in. I just finished recording the Mr. Green Burke Marley game. And I went off to have a wee rest. I mean, you can either move to Marseille or you supply. Because just imagine, like Seward could have had that. I mean, it's good that Mina's got it. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really good that Mina's got it. But Seward could have had it.
What's better? What should I get rid of? The steak or the? I'll go to the steak.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Ah, man. Yeah, Seward could have had it. Aye. You need supply with Dalming.
Tickets.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you can move. There's so many things. You gotta try and supply to get your item. You have to get tickets and you have to heal.
He needs to rest. Nah, reserve tickets. He's gotta move.
So that's a problem. You got like 3 things you want to do with Godalming.
Awful.
Ah, damn. That's unfortunate. Hello.
Need to reserve a ticket. Throw the 1-1.
Yep, but then suppose you're making your horse economy worse by doing that. That's the problem. It's kind of like this awkward thing. Yep. Okay, that's good to get. I know it's annoying that he's delayed, but you've dealt with it. That's one less thing to deal with later.
Okay, we got rid of the aristocratic at least.
Oh, okay, so you didn't backtrack. That's okay.
Could be in galley. Oh, he's not in 36. I know that. So either went to 60. Might be going east and running back to might be wolf forming away here.
Sorry.
So it's interesting. The new vampire only does 3. I thought it was more.
No, because it's the hardest to kill. It's got 6 health. But because of that, then it gives you less points because it's more likely to be alive. Whereas the Reckless, it has lower health, and so it's easier to kill by Heavenly Host. But you get 1 point for every time you fang with it in an ambush, and it gives you more points. It gives you an extra point of influence when it matures. It's kind of like this interesting dynamic between the two.
What? Does he have? I don't see any more cards. Does he have like more cards in play that I'm not taking account for?
No. No, just the bodyguards and that's it. Nothing else.
Alright.
Just supply. Supply is the way to go. You need to get... If you can get fast horses now, it doesn't matter that you got a crap ticket. It doesn't matter that you got a crap ticket. Yep. Really unlucky not to get a horse, but you can stay and you can get the next day. That's good though. That's good timing. Checking Munich is pretty imperative here. You need to know if he's going east or not. Or north, you know, from Milan. I think you might have clicked on Venice there. If you want to change the region, you have to click the X at the bottom of the screen. Right, now I know what the problem. Now I understand. Yeah, because trying to put something in the Discord. Now I understand. There's an X. There you go. There you go. Can you click on Germany? Nope. There you go. Oh, he's not in Munich or in Venice. Oh, fascinating. So that means he's not in the boot.
24,
Yeah.
51.
Yeah, he went 60-51 or 60-24. Interesting. Or went 60-41. Ooh. That's very useful info. Very useful. And the fact that Wolfform is gone, you know he's only moving 1 space per turn. So yeah, moving to 60 here is good. You could also maybe move to 58 to try and get ahead. You can curve around the map ahead of him. Okay. Is he in 41 or 51 now? Or 24? Probably not in 51 because of the chances of a Psychic Scan. So it's probably in 41, I would guess. No. You want to do actions. No, you want to move. But rail. You can quicker. You can rail quicker. You can rail to like 16. Yeah, you can rail to 16 now. Or 9 if you want to go as far. And then because you're putting a yellow 2 into the deck, you're making it your fast horse economy better. I mean, he might be backtracking, but I think going... I think 9 or 16 is a bad shout. I think that's good to do that. You may at night want to trade planned ambush and escape route to her in case she bumps into Dracula. I mean, the thing is, you're not going to need both. Trade one of them to Mina. If you want to be aggressive, trade the planned ambush. Yep, agreed. And then you can supply and you get the horses next day. Unless you're very unlucky. I really wish Sud had horses, but well, is what it is. Steak. Okay. Well, you're not getting delayed, so that's decent. So then Sud can actually move next day, maybe to Munich. Nope, there's none there. Nope. All dealt with. I'd trade planned ambush to Mina or escape route.
Let's see, what does he have? Rifle and holy bullets. What does Mina have? What else in a rifle? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna trade with Seward.
Probably would have traded with Mina, but that's okay.
Give him a planned ambush.
Yeah, okay, I get that too, especially because you've got holy bullets and a rifle, you might be able to utilize that. Do you get a ticket? Yeah, oh, actually that improves your horse economy. That's actually, yeah, that worked out well. That worked out well. Okay, so there's only one encounter, there'll be one more after this.
I think I have to get ahead of him.
Yeah, I'll be kind of ahead of him with Mina, so that's okay.
So let's check real quick. Should be in 41 right now.
Yep. Moving to 44, you could be in 51, moving to 41 now. If Dracula moves to 41 now and Seward walks into him, that's actually really bad for Dracula, because then 3 hunters could be on him, Seward, and then...
I don't know what to do.
So yeah, Dracula's got to play this move very carefully. You don't want to get jumped on by 3 hunters, especially he knows... Well, I don't know, does he know that Mina has horses? I think it's been revealed. Yeah, so you got 2 hunters with horses. And both of them could jump on.
I'm not going to Lisbon. Let's see. I think I'm doing okay. I just don't know. I'm quiet because I'm just thinking a lot.
That's okay.
I do want to show my game. I'm thinking of like trying to like come around. I'm guessing he's at Munich right now. He's probably looking to go to Vienna.
Can he be there?
I'm gonna have Van Helsing do fast horses and check over there.
Can't remember who. No, because Godalming searched hired scouts.
Like 2 behind him.
I'd go to. Would I go to 41 with Seward? Maybe, and then go to 38 and supply.
I think I was just waiting for him. There's no cards.
Ah, because of it's waiting for rumor token placement or not. I'd still supply with Godalming. You got bad movement. There's a horse in the pile. You can go and get. I mean, he could also be in Paris, to be fair. So going to Paris isn't necessarily a bad move. I'd still get the horse. Like, you know the horse is there, right? And then you got so much movement. He's not there. You have to go to 41 and see if you went to 41, and then with Van Helsing and Mina assess from there.
Check 38 out.
I mean, he might be in 38 now, to be fair. No. Okay, but you can supply there now because you're down 2 items, so you need to get that. Maybe check I can't read. Oh, I don't know. We don't know if it's 51 or 41, which is kind of critical. You can maybe check 41.
I gotta check Spain.
Huh? Why? Could you have backtrack from 60? I don't think so. No, because he could have I guess he could have gone 60 to 15. So why are you checking 54?
No.
No. No. All you had to do was check 41 and then check 51, and then if those two are negative, then you know that he's somehow backtracked into France. Oh, into Geneva. Just check Strasbourg. Or check, you can check Leipzig, you could roll horses, try to get a 41. So, yeah. So,
Let's see.
you do need to try and get ahead of him, but at the same time, you don't know exactly where he's going, and in Central Europe, there's so many connections. I see the problem. Van Helsing's been moved so far the wrong direction. And he's got horses, which is good, but he's like so far out. Because if Van Helsing had moved to 41, or Seward, then both me and Van Helsing have very flexible movement with horses and almost guaranteed to move 2 every turn. They could put so much pressure onto Dracula here and get into a good 2v1 situation potentially. And now that's not going to happen. It was a bit of a shame. Right, what you do this turn all depends on what you're going to do next turn. If you're going to move with Van Helsing, with Gadami, you have to get tickets. If you're going to supply, try and get the horse, then I'd probably rest. Well, I mean, you can check 16 again, or check 9 or something. You have to check Strasbourg? Probably not. I mean, I think Dracula's going northern towards Hamburg, but then maybe that's too obvious. Do you need to get tickets because you got the right, you got tickets that help horse economy? Give me an escape route to somebody? I mean, yep. If you wanted to, you could check Nuremberg. Oof. Yikes. That's a rough one. Okay. Because Mina's even more vulnerable. Ah, I've only traded the escape route before searching. Yikes. Do you try to kill it in one go with Heavenly Host, or is that too obvious? Ah, damn. Yeah, Mina's very vulnerable here. Because she had escape route,
my mic was out. Whoops. Wonder how long that happened for. I'm back though.
No problem.
Let's see what he plays.
Alright, that cancels that. That's fine. Oh, I don't know. Do you risk the Heavenly Host? This is very risky territory. The problem is, if you get plotted on, it's so difficult. With Mina, you're just really scared about a Fang attack every time. Do you just risk it, try to go for the Heavenly Host, rather than having... It's the last Reckless he can throw down.
He might Fang me. Get another 2 points.
No, because it's a search, not an ambush, so he doesn't get. You only get the point if he kills you. If he plays plotting, then I think Mina might well die here.
For a while.
Ooh, yeah, this is.
I think dodging makes sense.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, you absorbed his strength. I mean, you could have escaped though, but that's okay. The chance of him having both mesmerized at the beginning is unlikely, so if he's used one, you've got a pretty good chance of escaping.
I'll shoot him.
May well get broken. He's not mesmerized, so there's no death there. So that's okay, that's a Fang gun. Yep, and not mesmerized, so it does 2 damage back. The problem is you're going to have to use the rifle again to kill. At this point, you're trying to just survive here. You don't want to be trying to kill this vampire unless you can just heavily host it. Priorities. I think someone else has a stake. Does someone have a stake? No, I don't think there's any stakes left. But then Sue's got planned ambush. Oh yeah, that worked. I mean, yeah, you know, in retrospect, you could have definitely used heavily host.
Vampire there, but I probably shouldn't have shown my rifle.
Ah, that's alright. So in retrospect, yeah, you could have killed it with heavily host, but then imagine if you tried to play heavily host.
It's an interesting game. I'm just really curious how long my mic was like unplugged for.
I don't know, about 3-4 minutes, I think. Oh, might be going back to Zurich. Ah, interesting.
This one.
Nope, no Zurich. Yeah, so it might be going back to Zurich, or it might be a trick. So that's kind of a nice little misdirect there. In Central Europe, you can.
Probably going up to the ocean.
That's my thought too. Well, that's an interesting conundrum. Do you let the? Is that actually a vampire after Nuremberg? And if it is, do you then let the one in Nuremberg mature so you get 4 points? And not 7 or 6? I don't know. I don't know. The only way he could be going back to Zurich is if he went via Strasbourg, so I would check Strasbourg here. Because you haven't really got. If you could get to like 21 or 30 or 7 by rail, then I think just check Strasbourg. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. End of day yawn. There's a. I'm I'm kind of gutted because I know there's a horse there and he's not supplied to get it. A lot of. I did go to Strasbourg. Interesting. Okay. Is there a vampire? That's the question. And if it's a. No, it's not. It's a bait. Okay, that's fine. So you can deal with Nuremberg. And there's only one more thing on the trail. That's perfect. You need a supply. Supply with Seward. You've got plenty of time to deal with Nuremberg. Supply with Seward and then move to Nuremberg.
Yep. I am trying to that'd be stupid. Maybe up to 9.
Up to 9?
You have a stake. I'm gonna have him take care
Supply. Yeah, but supply first, because you. Okay. Just supply. You've got so much time to deal with Nuremberg. Supply and then move, and then you're constantly moving in the right direction rather than having to move to Nuremberg, then move backwards again. I mean, you can move to Leipzig, I suppose. But then imagine like if this fails and you can't get the rifle off, then you can't kill this vampire. That's the big problem with this. Did you play Planned Ambush? I think he did. you need supply to get either fast horse for movement, or you would have maybe got another weapon, which then you could use in this fight. Then if the rifle failed, you'd have another one as a backup. You're hedging all your bets on one item.
If he has strength, it's the best thing he could do.
Yep.
Shit.
Yep, strength cancels everything, apart from having a host. Yeah, you need to dodge it. And then hope you can then trigger rifle later. I mean, you have to kill this vampire. You don't want to be doing it at night, and you don't want to be moving and then moving back again. When you commit to something like this, you don't want to be moving hunters backwards and forwards between the same two locations.
No, shoot him.
Well, let's hope you don't get mesmerized. Or strengthed again.
Why couldn't Mina participate in the battle?
Because that's... Yep, that's the thing with strength. Because reckless vampires are 1v1 combat. New vampires are the ones where you have multiple hunters ganging up on it. I guess, I don't know, do you dodge and then you try to play rifle? Because he knows you have a rifle now, that's the problem.
He's probably gonna try fanging me. Reckless is a problem.
Yeah. You had plenty of time. You could have supplied twice with Sud in Munich and then moved to Nuremberg. And then everybody else's priority could have been going to chase Dracula. Also, no. Backseat driver, but, you know. That's the thought when I'm going through a lot of my head, you know, a lot of the time is, what is it I'm prioritizing? Who's going to mop up the encounters? Who's going to be chasing after Drac? So I normally have the ones with the most movement chasing after Drac, and the ones which don't are going backwards. Okay. At this point, this should be pretty clear to Dracula that, you know, Sud is intent to kill this vampire in this combat. So if I was the reckless vampire, I would try to escape now. I wouldn't want to be stuck in this combat any longer. Because there's just a chance that you don't draw the card you need. So if the vampire has an escape, if the vampire has an escape, it has to try and play it to get out of this combat. Because Sud is just intent on killing it. Is that good? Yeah, you're not killing it this combat. That's the problem when you hedge your bets on one item.
I'm shooting him next because he has no more.
Has he got another mesmerize?
Mesmerize out if he wants to like.
Yeah, because a Fang won't save him. You get a point out of it though. But the holy bullets would shoot through it. I just escapist missed. Ah, he went for the point. Ah, that's a misplay. I think Fangs or Fire here could have done way more damage to the hunters by just escaping with this vampire and keeping this vampire alive.
Let's get me out of the combat.
Ah, that would have been a huge irritant for the hunters if that reckless was still alive. Because you have to commit even more hunter time to dealing with it. Oh, it's dealt with anyway. From a hunter perspective, it's dealt with. There's only one more encounter on the trail. There's only one more encounter on the trail. I mean, he did damage Sud a lot, but Sud's got a supply. He has to supply. He's got one item. Trying to keep them as fully stocked as possible is really important. Oh, you got horses. You could horse to like 24. And then if you run into it in 24, that's okay, because Mina can come in.
41. Probably been 42.
Yeah, you can also check 42.
I think he was there, wasn't he?
Yes, I think he was actually. Yeah.
From Geneva. Play stat sources.
Yep, and just see what you roll, and then take it from there. Cool. I'd move to 24 probably. Yeah, yeah. You're going in the right direction, and if he is there, Mina can jump on him too.
Nope.
No, I mean he could also be in 60 because he misdirected 60. No, you want to move. You want to scan something. You can move to Van Helsing to scan. You could stay put and scan Germany. That's another thing you could do. I think you need to scan something. Wait, you can't be there though. Strasbourg is here. So moving here, you've moved away from wherever Dracula's going. I would have stayed either in Nuremberg. You could have healed during the day to get back up to full health, or supplied, and then psychic scan at night. And you know if he's in Germany or if he's in Italy. But that move doesn't give much of an advantage.
So you move me somewhere?
Yep. We'll see how much information Dracula reveals with this Bats move. Yep, that I would have done that too. Because if you move him to 60 or to 21 or 16 or 42, you're revealing information. Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I in desperation mode yet?
No. No. Absolutely not.
How many Dracula cards have been in the discard?
There's the items. No, there's not many Dracula events in the discard pile because of the event discard.
Continue. Let's check. Oh, I can't check that. How do I check the discarded cards?
One more to the left. One more to the left.
Oh god, I'm so bad. This one?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, do not night supply under no circumstances. You're not in desperation mode yet. If you just make a few decent moves in terms of like psychic scanning, working out where he is, you can get Mina and Van Helsing onto him.
Rest.
And you know you got double heavenly hose, you got a rifle, knife. You could do a lot of damage to Drac. From Strasbourg, there's a lot of places you can go. The good thing is Wolfform's still down, so it has to be having to be taking advantage of the fact that Wolfform is on cooldown, and he's not going to get Wolfform back for a long time. There's a risk then the moment you catch up with him, he can then Wolfform, and that's a really awkward proposition. Yeah, Mina shouldn't be there. Mina should be in 41 or in 24 with Van Helsing. She has to be one or two. Either that, or you move her forward to Leipzig to see. Oh no, it would be Leipzig from Strasbourg. You check 60 maybe to make sure he's not going south, and then you can all charge forward. You can go north then. That's
what he chooses to do. Let's see.
in the comments. Don't be.
Did I go the wrong way?
Yeah. Ah, there you go. He realised it. Yeah, you did go the wrong way. That's okay. Oh, as a quick tip, Strider, and anybody who's watching, if you highlight with your mouse the parts of Dracula's trail that has been revealed, so if you hover over Milan and Nuremberg and Strasbourg, the cities on the map of the game light up. So you'll be able to go, oh, Milan is here, then something, then oh, Nuremberg, then Strasbourg, and you can move from right to left, and you'll see the trail light up, and then you'll be able to work out, right, which direction everything's going in.
Why did I go that direction?
There you go. That's good. That's good. That's the type of critical thought you need, right? If you're going to get better at this, it's all about just assessing and trying to work out. And obviously, you know, it'd be better not to make the mistake, but still, the fact you realize, right, I've gone the wrong way, instead of committing several more turns in the wrong direction. So you realize it now, gone the wrong way, right? Need to go somewhere else. That's okay. Also, just say, I think this might be Strider's first ever full game as the Hunters, I think. So, you know, don't be too harsh. It's really, there's a very steep learning curve to all this, so. Hey, sorry,
Alrighty.
sneezing now. Apologies. I mean, you could move to Leipzig. You need a supply. You need to get to a big city. That's just like non-negotiable. But the fact, I mean, he can't be there, but that's as good a place as any to go for now. We don't know yet if he's going north or south, so going there's okay.
Strasbourg.
I mean, it feels bad moving just to 60, but maybe you might have to rule it out.
Could be Cologne right now.
Mm-hmm.
Strasbourg. 1, 2. Could be Brussels.
Yep, it could be Paris. It could also be. I mean, we need to find the place after Strasbourg. We need to know the direction of travel. Obviously, if you can land on his current location, that'd be really great. I mean, here's the thing. If he went to Zurich, then he can't get to Milan because Milan's stuck on the trails. I mean, he's going to have to go down to Marseille. And that's a bit risky with Van Helsing sitting there. Most likely, he is trying to go up into northern Germany. Either that or he's hedged his bets. I think Godalming moved from Paris to Strasbourg, so it can't be Paris. But maybe he's gone to Brussels and then he's gone to Le Havre. Again, risky.
Maybe at a port. We gotta check the port.
I mean, checking Marseille isn't a bad move.
No, fuck.
Because
Where he is.
he could have been there. He could have been there. And it was worth a go. That move I understand. But the other thing you can also do is, like, in a situation like this, if you don't know where he is, then just supply. You might get something that you need, but also moving around. Ah, that's unlucky. Go, move to Nuremberg and scan. Go to Nuremberg and scan. That'll give you information.
Go here and I'll scan tonight.
There you go. Good. Spot on. Spot on. Because at least it tells you if he's in Germany or not. Yeah, sure, he can dip in, but it gives you an idea. Right, he's probably in France. Oh no, he's probably no. You get an idea then. That's good. Yeah. You heal him up, and then you have to supply the next day because you can't run around with just a rifle forever. And the thing is, like, you know, Van Helsing's got a 2 white ticket, so he's not that far away, really. He isn't. Okay, so that's really important then. So from Strasbourg, we know he's not in Marseille. Let's say he went to Zurich. He couldn't have gone to Milan because that's blocked. If he went back to Munich today, Sagan would have picked him up. So he's not in Munich. He's not in Milan. He's not in Marseille. He could have gone from he could be in 24 right now. He could be in 15. He could have gone 51, 24, 15. I think I can't remember all the hunter movements, but it's most likely he's going to be in France. So immediately then, places to go. We need to check Paris, and you have to check 15. And those are the couple of key places we can go, and then we'll fill in the gaps along the way. But Sud needs to supply. Sud's not in a fit state to move. He can't really move very far because he's in an awkward sort of kink of the rail line. If he wants to, if Sud wants to move, railing only gets him to 16. So he's actually just quick to move by rail to 16. But honestly, because we know he hasn't gone to Germany, I would just supply with Sud. Get him tooled up. Get some events in the bag while you move the others.
Don't know what to do.
Don't panic. It's Wednesday of week 3. Yeah, it's late, but look, you've cleared up most of the trail. He's blown all of his really big vampire cards. There's 1 new vampire left, and that's it. I think there's been 2 aristocratic vampires I think have gone as well. So you're in a decent position. You just need to utilize the movement you do have, get horses on people, and then you've got 2 horses anyway. It only takes 1 good fight. You got double heavenly host, knife, and rifle. Double heavenly host would get him down to 2 health at this current state. So you just got to try and find him quickly. But the problem is now wolf form's going to come back. You try and catch him before the wolf form, but that's okay. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. If Drac is able to wolf form next turn, then depending on where he wolf forms from, that could be pretty bad for you.
Maybe going back to Spain. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'll be going up north.
I'd
totally lost this trail.
I'd get your map into the maximized view, or like the where you see the whole map It makes it so much easier to actually focus the mind on where he is. This view is just far, for me at least, it's too zoomed in, and it's just there's too much information really up front. See the big picture. You can move with good army, but your tickets aren't great. Ah, yeah, you're kind of trapped in an awkward position. I'd still move though. Maybe rail to 60 to see if he's gone 60-24. I don't think he could have gone. Yeah, he could also supply to get an event. Ah, fuck, that's just shite luck. Supply. With sword, yes. The other two you have to move. Good. That's good. That's also good. Oh, vampire or bats?
It was mob, rats, bats. I'm taking a picture of this. That's what I know he has.
Yep, that's cool. Fourth, that's a good question. I think maybe, yeah, I mean, the vampire instinctively you want to get rid of, right? But yeah, bats is also, if you got rid of bats, I wouldn't disagree with that either. You need to check 15 or 24. You need to check something.
Let's see.
Van Helsing has to move, and Mina has to move. Mina can check 24. So I guess with Van Helsing, do you check 15 or 42? Either. Roll fast horses and see what you get, and then take it from there. I think you need to get a little bit ahead of him. You need to check something like 15 or 24. I think even 15 is not. Oh.
Do we go here afterwards? I don't know where it's trail.
Nah. Because you could have sneaked past and gone 24-15. She needs to try and get to Paris. No. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, go to Paris. Either Paris or 24. I'd say Paris, because then you got one on either side. There we go. Got him. Right, so we went to 24 and then to Paris, or Brussels then to Paris. But it doesn't matter, we've got him now. We've got an idea where he's gone. So he's going to be in Nantes, Le Havre. He could be in 15, right? Oh, he could be trying to wolf from 15. That would be pretty. Would it be a good? I don't know. I'm always a bit conflicted if 15 is a good wolf form location or not.
Rest. Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it that you want to check it. Oh, you can deal with that discrete source. That's fine.
It's awful. I think I will reveal the Heavenly Host.
Yeah, just to stop him getting healing back later if he suddenly goes to sea or whatever. It's not great having to reveal Heavenly Host on Mina, but you know, needs must. Okay. Dracula might well look to wolf form here, depending on where Dracula is right now. But I think it's Geneva or is 15 a good wolf form location? Not really.
Well, now he can't heal with it.
Yeah, I think holding onto the wolf form is probably the right play here from Drag. Yeah, he really gave him the runaround. Backtracking in Central Europe like that, that's actually pretty nice. There's a lot of connections, and if you don't land on them right, yeah, Dracula's actually got quite a lot of room to move around and sneak in between the hunters.
What do I have? Escape route and blood transfusion. Ugh.
Yeah, you're in a really awkward spot train-wise. You're just gonna have to try and move like normally to Strasbourg and then to Paris. That's the only thing you can really do. I mean, someone has to check the location after Strasbourg, so maybe Godalming should be doing this. Until you can get horses on him. Yeah, but you're only going to get an event. I mean, that's a good event. Doesn't really help you right now, though, that's the problem. If you never go into Dracula's space, then it's not a good, great strength isn't useful. Right, you need to check 15, I reckon. Don't worry about the thing after Strasbourg. Check what's after Paris. That's the priority. Ah, okay. Let me see. Godalming could have done that. Godalming could have moved to Strasbourg and then moved to Brussels to find that out. Or Seward could have, because he's on the rail line to get there. Yeah.
So he can't go to Paris.
Mina should check 15. Or try and jump on his space, but then you don't want to get into a 1v1. That's the problem. You want to get into 2v1. You've got 2 hunters with horses. You want to utilize that. I know that the 2 weaker hunters for fighting, but it's better than 1v1 every day of the week. I mean, that's still a decent go because.
Horrible. I don't know where he is.
And he's still in France, unless somehow no, he has to still be in. Oh no. Ah, yikes! That's not what you want to see. Those fast horses will be gone. What did he? Oof! Nah, I would have gotten rid of fast horses.
You can also do that.
And the fact that he's going to move you as well. I would have gone rid of the fast horses if you could just cripple the hunters so much here by removing their movement. I know you're in a location with a better rail line, but they're the horses. I mean, no, I don't think you are really in desperation mode. I mean, that's a good supply, but I don't think you're that desperate. I think if other moves had been made more optimally, you wouldn't be in this desperate situation. Yeah, checking. Okay, right, at least you know where he is now. So yeah, night supplies can be good, but then you've lost a heavenly host. You could have potentially lost horses. Yeah, and that's the problem. I've seen this with other games where hunters get desperate and then they night supply and then they don't help themselves. You make things worse. Okay, I mean that's all right. In this situation, things can't get much worse because a manual got used early. But then imagine if you end up giving an unearthly swiftness to Drac or Darkness Returns, you're kind of putting the nail in the coffin. So what really happened here was a case of where was Van Helsing? Van Helsing was in 60, right? Yeah, and he went up to 9. Yeah. But imagine though, right, if Van Helsing had been here. And then, where did Mina go? Mina went to 54, didn't she? But the fact then, that was on the same, then you would have known then, okay. Dracula's not here, so Dracula must be around this area.
I don't really understand it, but the microphone keeps kicking out. So I gotta buy a new cable. So I don't know how long I've been muted for.
Yikes.
I'm getting desperate. And I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's almost like the desperation has been sort of self-created. Because...
Way out of the way.
But from Bordeaux, there's not many places he can go. He's in Santander. You know he's in Santander. The problem is now he can just escape to sea and run out the clock. Probably that's the big issue of all this. So it's a combination of moving hunters suboptimally, not having enough.
Do a train line or something.
Yeah, because like Godalming's been stuck in Nuremberg for 2 days, and like he's had. Yeah, he's sure he's been supplying, but like you got great strength. And Great Strength is a very good card, but it's not really what you need in this moment. You need proactive movement. It's kind of this really awkward, weird thing. It's really hard as well, also for me to rationalize it. When is the moment that you stop supplying and you move? And that's very hard. I don't even know the answer to that question. Oh, you got horses. Oh, why are you moving with horses? You could definitely move with horses now. And I get rid of the bullets when you've got 2 guns. That's okay. I don't really know the answer to that question. It happens very instinctively. Yikes, that's not a position you want to be in. You just get rid of a Heavenly Host. I mean, okay, cool, that works too. See, the problem is, now you know where he is, right? He's in 54 or 47. So the one time in the game where you know where he is and you're supplying, you should be moving towards it. And yeah, I know he's going to escape to sea, but you have to give it a chance, because like, I've seen Draculas make mistakes. Draculas overstay their welcome. Imagine if he thinks, oh, well, it doesn't matter, I'm safe, I can hide behind a fog, and then I know you don't have forewarned. But imagine then you walk in with forewarned, right? Draculas will make mistakes. So you should be looking to threaten with Mina and Van Helsing, and then let the other 2 hunters clear the trail. But yeah, I think it might be too late. You might have missed your opportunity to get him. I mean, I get why she has to supply, because she's down an item. Well, yeah, she's essentially down an item, but she should be moving. She should be moving to 48.
Why can't I get any good cards?
Because the deck's been fucked against you, basically, because of the hoax. And there's also that not every card is good. That's the whole point of this. If every card was good, then, you know, there's no fun in that. You need to, you know, you...
Not rest?
Nope, because you're full health. Because then you jump, when you get a really good card like a Renewed Vigor or a Great Strength, when it's really necessary, or Consecrated Ground, you get the jump of joy, right? Every time you supply, there's always that little bit of uncertainty, like, is it going to be a good item? Is it the item that I need? You got no weapon now. Yikes. I mean, you're not getting rid of white ones, but still that makes your horse economy a little bit worse, and it's revealed information to Drac. Could have kept the knife for that.
Here he goes to sea. Are all the vampires gone? So I need to know.
No, the deck's now reset. The deck is now reset, so all the vampires are now... I mean, he's got... His hand is still full of... Yeah, so all of these encounter cards here are things that he got before the deck reset. Well, most of them. But now the vampires are going to start coming out again. So yeah, I think the opportunity to catch him has been missed. You need it again before the wolf form came back. Now he can just kind of do whatever he wants. He can just run around. He can put down vampires. If you start to threaten him in the slightest, you're just going to see, because you know, in this situation, you're having to get you're giving up health.
This game will be up on my server, but I definitely need to get my microphone on. I don't know why it's constantly been off.
It hasn't been cutting out that much, actually. Like, in a situation like this, even if the win looks in the bag for Dracula, Dracula has to make sure the win is safe. So if it means Dracula has to go to sea for a couple of turns to run out the clock, then you just do it. That's the problem. I think options have been missed, but we'll see. Yeah, you just need to start checking places and just try. You never know. Dracula might fuck up and you jump onto his space with 2 hunters. But yeah, it's going to be tricky. Move Seward. You got movement with Seward. Just move him. You can get him to Strasbourg, and then the next day you can get him to. Oh wait, Strasbourg might be a lair actually. I'll get him to Brussels. Nah, you want to go by horses, because then you can't get to Nantes. You have to take another 2 days to get to Nantes.
Let's see. Where's my fast horses?
Alright, well, the horse economy is still good despite putting those 2 yellow ones into the deck. You can get to 15. Mina's just gonna try and get to like, I don't know, like, yeah, 48. But I assume that Dracula's just hugging this coastline. So yeah, he's probably in Santander. You don't want to check Bordeaux. You have to try and get ahead of him. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a little bit too tired to produce like really coherent like strategy now. But I mean, you had him trapped in Central Europe. But he was able to sneak around you. But because you didn't have like the movement and also like the right priorities, it meant that he got away. And he hasn't even used wolf form to get away. And then now now he's getting Dracula cards, which you can utilize potentially later. So yeah, I mean I get it, your Knight Supply, because you're trying to get something which would flip the game, but I don't even know what you can get to flip the game right now. I don't even know what card you would get that will change the game. Trying to kill him in 1v1 is almost impossible with the items you've got. So you need to try and get into a 2v1. I don't even know how, without Renewed Vigor, I don't even know how you do it.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't supply, but I need to practice with hunters badly after this game.
I mean, that's a decent card. That might actually, you might be able to get onto his space with that. I mean, you're quite close anyway, but I've only had a Renewed Vigor because you could fast horse and charter carriage. You could have traded and you might have been able to get onto him, but it's gonna be very difficult now. And now, Fear of Dracula points are gonna kick in. If Dracula needs to go to sea, he'll go to sea, just to make sure the wind's safe. But he might have like I don't know, like unearthly swiftness or something.
He's going for more points so he could get a better hunter score.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to 31 next.
As long as he's not at a huge risk of dying, then that's not a bad play to make. Is he in Lisbon? He could well be in Lisbon. The problem is you can only get one hunter there. That's the problem. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, because of Dracula's Brides. Oh right, okay. So because he's used Dracula's Brides, he cleared the lair in Lisbon. If he is in Lisbon, has now 2 encounters, and he got a 13 health drag. If one person walks in, that's like almost a death sentence. So he might win by killing a hunter actually. Maybe just supply with Godalming and try and get like a Hired Scouts or something, or like a Rufus Smith to search. I don't think moving helps. Oh wow, the horse climb is still holding up. I guess go to Santander, like.
That's not only I've been going there.
Yeah, that's where he went after Bordeaux. Oh, he hid there. Oh crap, there's 4 encounters. Oh well, fair play, Drag. Yeah, you might just kill Van Helsing straight up. If he's got anything like bodyguards or wolves, Van Helsing's just dead before the combat. Okay. That's it? That's all you're hitting him with? Oh no, here it comes. Yeah, that might be GG right now. Nope, because you haven't got anything. Actually, he knows you don't have any items. Oh, really? Oh, so he had a hide card and bodyguards, but there's still an encounter on each space. Honestly, if I was Drag, I might just fight. Oh, do you fight Van Helsing? Try and kill him? Maybe. Wow. Because he's got wolf form, right? I'd say move to Lisbon, but he can still wolf form somewhere else. You could wolf form to any other port. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I think that's probably GG, just because of the. I mean, he's got to get. I'm surprised he didn't ambush him with other stuff. Because like Dracula's now only going to have 8 points. Oh, he's going to go into combat with him. Oh, well played. Well played. Very well done. Yep, those bodyguards have been sitting there all fucking game. And then he's unleashed them now. And he's killed Van Helsing because Van Helsing doesn't have a weapon. This is why, people, you need conventional weapons. Running around with 2 heavenly hosts or staking heavenly hosts is just asking for trouble, especially with Van Helsing. So now Van Helsing just dies before the combat. You don't even need combat. Well played. And now Dracula moves to win. Well played, Fangs of Fire. That was actually really well done. Very good.
Wow, that was bullshit.
Nope. I mean, well, yeah. But those bodyguards have been sitting there all game. Even I'd forgotten about them. Because we had no combat to trigger them with Dracula. Why can't you move? Oh, you can't move at night. Of course you can't move at night. I need my bed. Wow. Okay, I didn't expect anything like that. But fair enough. That will do it. Yeah.
This is an awful game.
Yeah, it does. It can feel very debilitating. Is that the word? Yeah, that's a GG right there. Oh, well played, Fangs so far. Okay, is there any like post-game analysis? Oh, there's maybe like a minute or so of it. Okay, so
I don't know. There's nothing I can really say. I'm learning a lot, which is great. But this video has me pulling.
Oh, yikes! There goes the mic.
I'm really sorry. Hopefully this ends this game because I don't want to advance it anymore. Can you please end it?
Yeah, he's gonna move and end. Yup.
So I had 13 health.
Yeah, that's a decent Dracula victory. Yeah, Dracula's bride just sealing the deal.
Okay. So my recording has a lot of glitches in it. I want to thank Fangs of Fire. Good work, obviously. You clearly studied. I played horrible as the hunter. I did the best I could. I didn't know where he was going. He went to see at the beginning, and that was it. I was surprised he didn't go to other places. Thank you all for watching. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. Sorry for the audio delays and everything. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, I realised obviously after a game like that, you haven't got a lot of energy for sort of doing your own sort of post-game analysis. I'm normally the same. Sometimes it depends on the game. Sometimes my analysis at the end is very sporadic and sort of not focused at all. So yeah, I think kind of like key things really, we've kind of gone through them anyway, but the start was a bit rough because obviously, because there's no newspaper reports. But then as I said, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, those are newspaper reports quite close to the top, but because those 4 supplies got missed, and obviously I haven't got the headspace right now to try and work out exactly what would have happened, but that newspaper might have triggered much earlier, so we knew what the wolf form location was. The evil presence would have triggered earlier, which then might have changed Dracula's decision to not do so much in Spain. I think the way it all panned out, it's probably likely that the hoax, the bodyguards would have still matured, and there's a chance. Well, would the bodyguards have matured? That's the question. Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, I think by the looks of it, because of the way the fog was done, the hoax was probably going to mature. So a manual Hildesheim would have still been obtained. Now the question obviously then is, would the cards that were lost, because that's the thing, like when you look at what Dracula got from manual Hildesheim, you got wild horses and fast tip. Not really powerful Dracula cards. If you're moving by fast horses, wild horses are useless, and fast tip can be countered by good luck, which it was. So if that's the case, and and obviously then Summon Storms got wasted. So, the thing that was so devastating about that Emmanuel Hildesheim get from the hoax was the fact that then the Hunters lost double renewed vigor. Now, depending on how supplies had gone a little bit differently, it is possible that maybe one of those two were not discarded. I'm not quite sure. Someone else who is more awake than me can do the maths on it and see if it works. But that's really devastating. And of course, as a hunter, then you're kind of up against it if you lose renewed vigors, but there are times where you don't get renewed vigors anyway, so you have to try and learn to play with them. If you had at least one of them, it would have actually helped you in Central Europe because you had lots of places to check, and you'd be able to move twice, or supply and then move, and there's potential then you could have jumped on him. So you had a window of opportunity in Central Europe. We had two hunters. I think also too, it's positives, absolutely. The only thing that matured was one new vampire in Spain. But then when we think about it, logically, that's not bad that the new vampire matured. If you discovered it was a new vampire, would you have had the stake to deal with it? If you use the stake on the reckless, I guess you would have used the stake on the one in Cadiz. Oh, but then Sud would have gone to get it, right? So maybe, maybe not. I don't know if you'll be able to kill that new vampire. That's the thing. Because Holy Bullets isn't enough. You need to get one tick of damage in and then the Holy Bullets with the rifle. So it's possible that new vampire would have matured anyway. So that's not what lost you the game. The new vampire matured didn't lose you the game. You dealt with all the other vampires fine. I think the big issue is thinking always about optimal moves. And yeah, of course, there is a sense of urgency involved, oh crap, Dracula's wolf form from the sea, I need to find him. Absolutely. But they also think about, as an example, if you sense emergency with Seward, great, then what? There has to be a follow-up plan, right? And you've already got this Seward is a rifle and holy bullets. That's not enough. You need to think, so taking a couple of turns just to go, right, let's supply with Godalming, let's get Seward to Bordeaux too. Dracula pushed Seward from Saragossa up to Santander with wild horses. If Seward had just railed, he had a 3-2 ticket. If he just railed to Bordeaux, that wouldn't have happened. So you lost 2 days from that basically. I think we lost a day because of it. So that's a supply fewer, right? If you'd kept Godalming and Seward on the same spot for just a couple of turns, they could have both double healed at night. So then Godalming would have been much healthier. And because then Seward would have had more items at that point in the game, that then the point when he fought the Reckless Vampire, you'd have had a much better chance to kill it. Now, you'd still kill the Reckless Vampire in Nuremberg. That's only because Dracula insisted on trying to get 1 point of damage or 1 point of influence from the Fangs. If I was Dracula in that situation, I had realized that, oh shit, Seward's trying to kill this, there's a good chance he has holy bullets, I would have then tried to leave the combat, and then you've got to try and fight it at night, or you've got to try and fight it another day, and that's another day action you're wasting on it. If Seward had then been better equipped, then he could have used the holy bullets on that vampire, still the same way, but then he wouldn't have had to then shit, oh crap, I need to resupply because I've only got 1 item. No, you would have had 3 items, so you could then still kept chasing Dracula at that point. And there's also then, a few wasted moves. Mina moving to Prague was unnecessary, and that really set you back. Van Helsing moved all the way to Toulouse when that wasn't necessary. So there's kind of this balancing act where you're trying to get ahead of Dracula, but at the same time, you don't want to make a huge bold assumption about where Dracula's going, because then you can move yourself further out of position than necessary. And then I think what happened was, because you had a sequence of maybe, I don't know, I'm plucking a number out of thin air, say 10, 12 actions, day actions, which didn't really go the way that you hoped they would, then you start getting desperate. And then once you start just night supplying, then, things like this happens where you get a Dracula's Bride, and then Dracula can go, oh, well, I can just sit in place, and I know if 100 jumps onto me, I can kill them. So that was that. I mean, don't feel bad about losing track of Dracula in Central Europe, because that's happened to me I think definitely having your map zoomed out would actually help. I find it for me, everything's too close. But using the fact that you can highlight the city spaces on the trail and they light up on the map, you can see with a light display where Dracula is potentially moving to. Strasbourg's really tough. Strasbourg is the place on the map with the most connections, so trying to work out where Dracula's going from there is really tough. But obviously, Dracula didn't even have to wolf form to get out, which shows kind of the sort of the position Dracula was in. What else? It also comes back a lot to the beginning. I know, it's like the fact that the hunters didn't get fast horses early actually really hurt you, because then you were so limited with movement. You're making really suboptimal moves, like moving Mina 2 spaces to get from Marseille to Bordeaux earlier in the match. I don't know when that was. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Well, anyway, yes, so she's now in Bordeaux here, but she moved 2 turns to get there. Just apply in Marseille, or it doesn't even matter. You could have had fast horses before that moment, because of those extra supplies we're talking about. Okay, you got unlucky. One of the fast horses was at the very bottom of the deck. But then still, you would have had 2 fast horses even earlier, which gives you more movement, so then more movement to chase once he wolf forms from sea. It puts Dracula under more pressure. If Dracula's under more pressure, he's more likely to make mistakes. That's kind of the way to think about it. Okay, and then you can have more flexibility in your movement. You might be able to get a 2v1. And even if you don't kill Dracula, well, Dracula's hovering around with 5 health, it's very vulnerable for the rest of the game, and it allows the other hunters then to catch up. So I think, for the first half, I mean, the first week was a bit rough. They did get newspaper, which is pretty unlucky, but it is what it is. Another day, you'll get it, exactly the turn that you need it. But then don't feel rushed to move. Just stay put, stick to the protocol, supply. If you discover early where Dracula is, and you realize, oh crap, it's really far away from me, I need to start moving now, that's fine, move. That's because you know where he is. If you don't know where he is, just supply. Because you're always going to get stronger. You can't make yourself weaker by supplying. You're only going to get stronger. And even if you're having to ditch a couple of good items, so what? You're going to replenish the item deck again. You'll get them back, because that's what happened towards the end of this game. And all items are fairly decent anyway. And having that little bit of variety in the items could be maybe what sort of, if you're always running around with Heavenly Host and Knives only, that's a bit predictable. But if you're sort of mixing in a gun and holy bullets, a garlic, a crucifix, whatever, that variety then means Dracula. It's very awkward for Dracula to know what actually going to be playing in combat, which could work in your advantage. I think you dealt with Spain fairly well. I mean, yeah, it was a bit unfortunately missed Cadiz. It's just look carefully before everything. Right, look for the directions. Right, because I heard you saying, "Oh, he's gone into France." No, he's going from Santander to Lisbon, not the other way around. So you knew it was then. So he missed the Cadiz mature. You didn't stake the vampire in Alicante, which means then you had to go back to get it, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. That happens to everybody. Well, I think mid game, I think you played fairly well once things started happening. It was just then what you did after that. It's just the Central Europe situation here wasn't dealt with very well, and that's what caused you the most problems. And then then it becomes it looks almost impossible, and then you just become desperate. And then the one time you actually knew where Dracula was, you knew he was in Nantes and Le Havre, and he was going into Bordeaux, and then for some reason he just didn't move anymore. Sorry, you kept supplying, which then meant that Dracula got a couple of extra cards, which then was the downfall. If Dracula hadn't got Dracula's Brides, then I think Dracula would have had to have gone to sea, because you did end up closing in. I don't think Dracula would be able to stay there. Would have had to probably leave. Yeah, probably. So then, because it was at that point, Dracula only had like 5 points. Yeah. So Dracula needed to move 3 more to win, 3 more days. I don't think he would be able to do it in Spain. He would have to leave, but then potentially wolf form. So then you're talking about 3 damage, wolf form 4, and then moves 2 more spaces. It might still been difficult to catch Dracula at that point, but still, it wouldn't have been as big a victory the way it was anyway. So yeah, it's tough. So yeah, don't night supply. Night supplies are deadly. Sometimes you can get really lucky and get away with it, and it's just a roadblock. But other times, you know, summon storms could have been really bad if the game had gone differently. But you know, Fangs of Fire used them too early. False tip and wild horses. Yeah, as I said, not very strong. The main thing was the Emmanuel Hildersheet, and that really kind of ruined you. But there was a chance to recover. All this stuff in Central Europe, all it took was like one good fight with Van Helsing and Mina, and then that would have swung the game entirely in your direction then. And if Dracula's hovering around with like 2-3 health, even if you had expelled, like, you know, you had expended quite a lot of your strength, well, Dracula's not going very far on 3 health. You can restock, take a couple of turns to restock, and then off you go again. And then clearing the encounters with a couple of hunters as you do along the way. So yeah, hopefully this has helped. I'm going to stop the recording now because I'm feeling myself just like being fatigued. It's been a long day and it's like gone one my time. But hopefully this has been useful. And yeah, to all of you watching, and hopefully to Strider and Fangs of Fire who are playing this game. I'm well played again to Fangs of Fire. Got the win, which obviously then meant his competition has gone off to a good start, and hopefully, you know, Strider can learn from this and really sort of improve, you know, as the tournament goes on. That's the kind of thing I've seen this before, where sort of players grow as the tournament goes on. Yep, I'll stop the video now, but we'll hopefully be able to do some more post-game analysis soon, and I hope you enjoy all the other games that are on my channel. There'll be uploads every Friday from the league, plus, you know, Quincy and Strider and Andre will be putting up their uploads periodically. I'll add them to the playlist once they become available. Hey, I'm off to bed, and I will see you in the next episode very soon. Bye-bye.